Diablo 4 players might not be ready for our cringe intros, but they are here anyway. So this is going to be my first build guide for Diablo 4. This is going to be a penetrating, nice, shot build. Line them up. Oh! This is my build, dude. I'm vibing so hard with it. It uses multiple imbuements, and well, as you can see in the background, it is an absolute blast. First, I started out copying Woody's build for the twisting blades, I think they're called, which is sort of like Blade Vortex, and I just felt really squishy, and being in melee for me, I don't know, I guess I grew out of melee. I just didn't like it anymore. It wasn't vibing with it as much. Yeah, we've just been playing around with it right now, and I'm having so much fun. I've been, so far, two-shotting bosses a lot of the time with the poison imbuement, and there's a lot of synergy here. Now, I do think this build is going to change as I get closer to 100, and I might end up dropping the dark shrouds in the build, but I wanted to make a guide for what we have so far and what I'm doing, and then you can see the build evolve. So for the aspects, I've chosen these, and I'll have a link to this in the description down below. But this is why I'm probably going to drop the Dark Shrouds, because I'll be getting Dark Shrouds. Well, I'll drop it on the bar. A lot of people have been talking about that there might be other things for even more single target I can have instead of Dark Shroud. I might also consider having another Unstoppable skill because I'm hardcore. So I'll see, because I don't really need additional single target right now, but I might later. And either way, we'll go over the aspects. I have the eluding aspect here for even more unstoppable. We have corruption here. Ideally, obviously, if you ever find a max aspect, keep it for later, because, you know, once you're level 72 plus and you're finding ancestral 725 power level items, you actually might find something that's close to best in slot. And that is when you want to use the max aspects if you find one with 40% increased potency. Because they're quite rare to find the ones you want. Like this one, I've actually only found one of so far at all. And it is sadly almost max level, so I have started using that already. This armor one, really strong, especially for hardcore. Penitent Greaves, I'm just about to start using those now. I'll see how I feel. Obviously, I really like having multiple evades, but this should be quite a lot more damage. Sky Hunter, this is super best in slot for the build because it is a guaranteed crit, and there's a huge interaction with the poison imbue and a guaranteed crit. So we basically get 2 guaranteed crits. We also get another one from Concealment. The skill that breaks concealment will always be a guaranteed crit. And then I'm stacking combo points ideally before firing off the poison imbuement. Some people don't like that, but you also don't necessarily need that all the time while clearing. If you don't have a Sky Hunter, just try to get a really high damage crossbow. Obviously, like close damage, vulnerability damage, imbuement skill damage, those are all good stats. Next up, we have Trick Shot aspect, which is really imperative for the build. This is what makes like the whole spread out AoE thing. This one is also really good. It keeps your poison imbuement having no cooldown a lot often if you're standing inside the clouds that produces. And honestly, this ring one is probably the most likely to change because I don't really have energy problems at the moment, but it is pretty nice right now, and I'm using Puncture to build combo points. I have Edge Master. As I'm making this video, this is currently disabled because apparently there's a bug around it, but yeah, right now I am using that. And then here we have Condemnation to build combo points faster. For the gems in weapons, we have critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. I don't really spend much on crit chance because I do have 2 guaranteed crits, especially when playing solo. And this is a better solo build than a team build because you do want to like line up the enemies. It's really nice. This was Woody's recommendation, damage reduction while crowd impaired. So you do get 5 of these, I think. Obviously, the biggest chance you can die is while impaired. And this also works even while just slowed. So it's very strong. Jewelry, armor, obviously the strongest stat in the game pretty much. So we got that. And then specialization is combo points. For the Paragon tree, there's not that a crazy amount to talk about. I do have 40 points remaining. I'll probably post a new one when I do get closer to 100. I'm just not 100% sure where to put the points yet. I don't think I'll have a new panel. I think it'll just be like filling out the ones I have. Obviously, there are things here like imbuement, cooldown reduction, and non-physical damage. Like going over here might not be the worst idea, and picking up some of like the legendary nodes that I haven't taken. So the last 40 points are kind of less interesting or less imperative, and the points I've done so far are also probably not entirely min-max. It's probably possible to make a better tree because I'm still learning the Paragon trees. I do think it's fairly good and fairly rotated. But we'll just post this, and it's easier to follow than me showing and talking about it. Next up, I'll just quickly hover all of the gear that I am currently using so you can get an idea of what to use. I am going to go through it quite quickly, and you can just pause over each item if you want to see it more. As for how to play the build, obviously it's important to build combo points. So for example, having them full and then using your poison is really, really nice. Now, do remember, if you're hitting something with puncture first, then you're not getting that guaranteed crit. So a lot of the time while I'm playing, I will try to build up crit on, honestly, you could actually do it on like chests and stuff, like debris that you can damage. But I do try to not build up by hitting elites, and then I can, boom, down an elite when I'm in a dungeon. The poison imbue is starting to fall off a little bit on tankier monsters. Earlier, it was actually one-shotting even like elites that were in the middle of things. And I found that, you know, you kind of got to play around with it because it really depends on what level you are and the monsters are. Right now, I'm clearing like 69 dungeons. And as you can see here, on 65 monsters, it's very, very easy. I don't even need to build combo points, right, in the overworld. I'm just running around, and since we have a guaranteed crit, that's more than enough. For bosses, I'll sort of demonstrate here actually what I would do on a boss because I'm not about to do one. So I would make sure I have full combo points. Then I'll push my poison imbue, crit it. Then I'll build up another 3 combo points, use concealment, and then another boom. And maybe we'll have Scry actually just show some bosses in action as well as gameplay at the end. But that is pretty much it. For leveling the build, I'm actually not 100% sure. The penetrating shot should be fine early once you get the trick shot aspect, but I respect from twisting blades once I have level 50, 60, so I don't have the best advice for low levels. Either way, really, really enjoying it, and I might look at some other people that are doing similar builds and see if there's anything they've done that's different to me that I can improve on, because it's pretty, haven't done a large amount of research right now, to be honest. And just enjoying that it already feels stronger than my level 100 Sork. It's actually doing more damage already. So far, the biggest crit I've seen is 198,000 in level 66. I'm very, very happy with. And yeah, looking forward to see how the build progresses. Let me know what you think for my first build guide. And yeah, there's a lot of good builds out there. So I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're having a fun time Diablo 4. Sub if you liked the video. More importantly, try to die less than I do. Line them up. Oh! This is my build, dude.